Alright guys, Raw Wrestler here, and I'll be reviewing the August 29th edition of Monday Night Raw, where we crowned a new WWE Universal Champion. It's Kevin Owens. I was right last week when I said they should give the belt to Kevin Owens. I was wrong when I said they wouldn't give it to Kevin Owens. I'm very, very sorry, WWE. I love you to death now. Kevin Owens is the Universal Champion. We'll get into that when the main event comes. But anyway, I do just want to say Kevin Owens is Kevin Steen is the world champion in the WWE. Jon Moxley and Kevin Steen are world champions in the WWE. Oh my god, Jim Cornette is turning in his grave. Jim Cornette isn't even dead. So anyway, Raw kicked off with the 4 men in the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, which was an added stipulation. And I do want to actually explain a couple of things I didn't like about that added stipulation when I have to talk about the match. But the 4 men in the matchup were in the ring, and Corey Graves was going to interview all 4 of them. Big Cass, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Corey Graves starts and Seth Rollins immediately cuts him off and says, I don't need to talk, I get so much mic time on the Raw anyway, why don't we give someone else mic time, like Kevin Owens? And Kevin Owens gets a Fight Owens fight chant. You know, Kevin Owens just says, hi, I'm Kevin Owens and I want to win the Universal title. Comedy from Owens. Then it's Big Cass's turn. Big Cass talks about how his size does matter, which I'm sure that was a Vince line. And then he talks about to Rollins how size definitely does matter, referencing those leaked images on Rollins' ex-fiance's account. That was a nice inside joke, which I'm sure Rollins would have been a little bit displeased with. Big Cass also talks about how he's the big dog in this fight, stares at Roman Reigns, puts down Roman Reigns, and the crowd cheer for Big Cass. Roman Reigns gets up, goes to talk, and then smacks, sucker punches really, Kevin Owens. What a heel, Roman Reigns. Sucker punches Kevin Owens, and Rollins goes after Cass. Cass takes out Rollins, and in the end, Roman Reigns ends up taking out everybody in the ring, and Cass and Owens walk up the ramp, and Rollins is on the outside. Roman Reigns over in the opening segment. Good opening segment because it didn't last very long. It was about 8 minutes long, so it's better than these 25-minute segments with Charlotte and Jericho and stuff, and it flowed better, and it was a better opening than the long segment, so good stuff there. We move into the first match of the show. It would be Chris Jericho and Neville. Jericho cut a promo backstage. He was interviewed by Tom Phillips, who we called Philippe, and when he asked Tom what Neville was going to get, Tom replied with it. And Jericho said, no, you stupid idiot, why would he get it? What does that mean? It doesn't even make sense. If Jericho wants this it thing to get over, he should definitely keep trying to incorporate it in different ways. And this was a very good idea from Jericho to sort of neglect the it. The matchup was actually pretty good. It was a, really good match, to be honest. In the end, though, Neville super kicked to Jericho. He went for the red arrow. Jericho would move. Neville would then go for a Frankenstein, and Jericho cowered into a walls of Jericho and then put the knee on the head of Neville. Neville would tap out. Very good Raw match, 3.25 stars. I'm going to go very good opener to the show. Hot opener as well. The crowd were definitely into it. They liked Neville. Neville's great. His timing is always fantastic, and Jericho's such a good heel that there was a lot of heat in this matchup. Very good matchup. Jericho wins with the lion timer. We moved into Bayley backstage, and this was an earlier in the show vignette recorded. Bayley was backstage, she hugged some random guy, and then she met the New Day, and I realised how I've never ever put Bayley and the New Day together when they're such a natural fit. They are both in very enthusiastic gimmicks that work very, very well together, and the New Day started chanting, hey, we want some Bayley, instead of, hey, we want some New Day. Interesting. Dana Brooke would then come up to Bayley and talk about how Bayley was a fluke, basically, and how she's going to get Gallows and Anderson to help her, and the New Day said, yeah, sure, do it, and Dana Brooke then said, bring it, Bayley, and Bayley said, it's already been brought. The New Day go, oh, and they carry Bayley around on their shoulders. Dana Brooke, to me, has lost a lot of confidence. I think it's because she hasn't got Charlotte there as a backup. Charlotte's quite good on the mic, so she can cover for Dana sometimes. Here she was on her own, so, I mean, it was a recorded vignette, so they could have retaped it, but she didn't seem as confident here, and she didn't seem as confident later on in the show either. We moved into the Nia Jax squash. She beat a woman called Hyan this week. Whatever. Nia Jax is cool. The finish though is starting to look weird. I can't remember. I think it was the Samoan drop into the scoop slam thing. Yeah, that was it. The woman was interviewed though, so they are going for the very same thing with Nia Jax and Braun Strowman, with the person being interviewed and then them getting crushed. We had the club backstage, and they are no longer doctors. They are now working in a retirement business, and they have a new nurse. It's Dana Brooke. And again, Dana Brooke just didn't seem to have that confidence she normally does have when she's with Charlotte. Gallows and Anderson are always funny, but I think this vignette has run its course. Those fart jokes this week instead of testicle jokes, which to me just seemed a little bit just Vince McMahon jokes. It's just a bit I like Gallows and Anderson. They're incredibly funny guys, and I think they should just be given their own stuff, and they should just run with whatever they want to run, because they're really good guys and they can cut good promos. So didn't really like this. We moved into the first of 4 career packages for the 4 men in the main event. Rollins' would be first. It talks about how he came back from injury, he persevered, and he's back to win the big belt. Good stuff. I really like these packages. It made that main event seem special. It made it seem important. And Rollins, to me, of course, going in as the favourite, it was good that his was first. It really established him as the favourite. We had Sami Zayn taking on Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal's not very good. And Sami Zayn, the whole point of this match was to show how tough Sami Zayn was. And he was selling the leg injury from last week, which he suffered against Rollins when he did the jump over Rollins and injured his ankle. He was selling the ankle, and in the end, it didn't really matter because he won the haluva kick. What they're going to do with Sami Zayn at the next pay-per-view, I have no clue. But I hope it's something, because at SummerSlam, the guy really got shafted. But he did beat Jinder Mahal, which is always a plus to beat Jinder Mahal. We moved into the New Day and Bayley taking on the Club, Gallows and Anderson, and Dana Brooke. I thought this was a decent matchup. Charlotte was on commentary. She got very little speaking time, though. She didn't really play up Dana Brooke too much. She just said she was a protege. Dana Brooke, again, the confidence thing. In the ring, this woman's pretty bad. And when she was with Bayley, I thought last week they had a decent matchup. Here, they really didn't. The best stuff really in this matchup was the New Day stuff and Gallows and Anderson. I thought this was a decent matchup in the end. Bayley beats Dana Brooke with the Bayley to belly again, so he's pinned Dana Brooke 2 weeks in a row, which really just set her up as the #1 contender for Charlotte's women's title. And I feel like she might take it from Charlotte at Clash of Champions. Is that rushed? Probably, but what can you do? They're going to have Sasha with the belt, and they obviously can't. Speaking of Sasha, she was in an interview on the pre-show, and she said that she'll be back fighting and she'll take the belt from Charlotte. So when she comes back, she'll be writing that woman's title picture, and when Balor comes back, he'll be writing the Universal title picture. So it's nice to see that those superstars aren't going to be forgotten. We moved into the Cass career package. This was very different to the Rollins one, because Cass hasn't achieved as much as Rollins, and it really put Cass as kind of an underdog in the matchup, and that was really, really good, I think. It showed me that Cass could pull off a shock, so good stuff there. We had the second match in the Best of 7 series with Cesaro and Sheamus. In the end, the big spot was Cesaro being thrown by Sheamus, back body dropped into the ring post, injuring the lower lumbar of his spine, very similar to how Sasha injured it. It was reported on WWE.com after the show that Cesaro had suffered an injury. I hope it's kayfabe, because we really can't afford another injury now, especially since the guy got back like 3 months ago. A very good matchup though in the end. Sheamus did that big spot where he sent Cesaro into the post. It was a sick looking finish, and then he put him in a cloverleaf, so it shows the diverse offense of Sheamus. Cesaro tapped out immediately, which is good psychology. So very good matchup. 3.5 stars I'm going to go, actually. I went 3.25, but I think 3.5. Very good finish. Yeah, 3.5 is fine. We then had Remembering Mr. Fuji. Of course, Harry Fujiwara passed away yesterday or the day before. 83 years old. Harry, if you know Harry Fujiwara, well, if you know Mr. Fuji, he was of course synonymous as being the manager of Yokozuna. He threw the sand in the eye, the ceremonial salt, in the eyes of Bret Hart at WrestleMania 9 to help Yokozuna win the WWF title. And he was a wrestler, apparently. I've never seen a Harry Fujiwara match, but I should probably check some out. He seems pretty good. I imagine he made the Fujiwara armbar. Yeah. So yeah, that was nice. WWE always do pay respect to the legends well, so that was a nice touch there. We then had the Kevin Owens career package. This was all about him coming from NXT and being a prize fighter, and the Universal title was his main prize, and it's the prize that he wanted. Good stuff from Owens, good package there. We then had Braun Strowman squash, very similar to Nia Jax's squash. The guy in the ring cut a promo, and then Strowman's music hit, and then the guy just went silent. They're very creative with how they're throwing all these guys different promos, and how each promo from each guy's been different. You had the mighty James Ellsworth, and then you had Johnny Knockout being, I guess, homosexual. So this guy here was just silent. Strowman kills him with a catched reverse chokeslam. He threw him in the air and then slammed him into the mat. Killed this guy. This reverse chokeslam is going to kill somebody eventually. Strowman wins, and whatever. Strowman's bad. Strowman is really, really bad. His knees this week. Oh, this guy's really, really bad. But at least the squashes are fun to watch. We had 3 more cruiserweights announced for the cruiserweight series. The cruiserweight division on Raw. It would be Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and Cedric Alexander. They are way more exciting than the 4 we had last week. So Gargano, Ciampa. I guess they're not going to be in NXT anymore, which is a little bit of a shame. But cool. It's going to be cool to see Gargano, which I imagine. Oh, they're going to split up. They're going to split up in NXT TV in a couple of weeks, aren't they? That's going to suck, but hey-o. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's nice to see Gargano, Ciampa, and Alexander get that chance on the main roster, especially since Cedric Alexander had that awesome matchup in the Cruiserweight Classic against Kota Ibushi. Still the one that we hope and pray is signed, Kota Ibushi. I just doubt he will be. Stephanie McMahon would confront Paul Heyman about the actions of Brock Lesnar F5ing Shane McMahon at SummerSlam. I thought this was probably the worst Heyman segment I've seen in ages. Heyman was good here, but this was, I was totally baffled. I had no idea what these people were talking about. They were talking about boardrooms, and I had no clue what was going on, and I was really focusing on this segment. I was trying to take notes, and I had no idea what was going on here. Stephanie said there'll be retribution probably, and that was the segment ending, and Heyman smiled. This is setting up Shane and Lesnar, which is not a good sign. Why would Stephanie why would Stephanie care? I know that Shane is her brother, but for the last few months she didn't care that Shane was her brother. She was very heel. Why is Stephanie now a face? That's even more enforced by the end of the show. Baffled by this segment. And then we had the Reigns career package. Again, good stuff. There's not really much I can say about it. I've talked about 3 career packages already. Titus, I was going to say Titus Young. Titus O'Neil will take on Darren Young again. Oh my god, this is the worst feud ever. These guys totally suck. Oh, this match was bad. This was a bad match. I'm not even going to grade this match. It's a dud. You don't even need to watch it. I wanted to skip this match when I was watching it this morning. I so wanted to skip it, but I couldn't, and that sucked. Titus won. Darren Young won with a crucifix. That was it. I don't care. And then Titus beat him and Bob Backlund up. Oh, this is going to be a match at the pay-per-view. And then we had the main event. And now I'm smiling again, because the main event was an awesome 4-way, great match. I really enjoyed this matchup. It started out with Owens taking control. Owens leaving the ring immediately and just letting the 3 men fight, which was good from Owens as the big heel, really. The first elimination was Big Cass, which actually kind of shocked me. Big Cass looked great in this match. We did look like a world beater. And then it took 3 men to beat him. It took a Superman punch from Reigns, a super kick from Rollins, and a frog splash from Kevin Owens to eliminate Cass. He looked very, very good in the probably 10 minutes he got. We were down to the last 3. Owens, Reigns, and Rollins. Cass being eliminated first was smart because these 3 men here were the stars in the matchup. They were the 3 favourites. Cass was going in as an underdog, and it made sense that he was eliminated first. We had some great stuff from these guys. A lot of Superman punches, just awesome action. But in the end, Roman Reigns took out both men on the outside, and who should return but Triple H, his first TV match return since WrestleMania. He would pedigree Roman Reigns on the outside and throw him in the ring. He would throw Rollins in the ring, and Rollins would cover Reigns. 1, 2, 3. Reigns was eliminated, it would be Owens and Rollins, the last two. Triple H grabbed Owens, threw him in the ring, would go to pedigree Owens, but then turned on Seth Rollins, pedigreed Rollins, 1, 2, 3, Owens pins Rollins, and is the new WWE Universal Champion. Fight Owens, fight. Kevin Steen is the WWE Universal Champion. Oh my God. I'm going to get the negatives out of the way first. Triple H beating two main guys, two top guys with his move is ridiculous. Kevin Owens didn't beat any of them. Kevin Owens beat Cass, but he didn't beat any of the other two. Triple H did, and Owens was just the lackey that pinned them. But nevertheless, Kevin Owens is the Universal Champion. This was the right move. Rollins injured Balor, so he shouldn't have won it. Reigns just got back off suspension, so he shouldn't have won it. Cass isn't big enough yet. Well, not literally, but Cass isn't big enough a star yet to have won the belt. So I have no qualms with Kevin Owens winning the belt. I just think the fashion he won it wasn't particularly great. But overall, a pretty good show for Raw. The main event was excellent. I give it 4 stars. Really, really good 4-way. Great action, great fast-paced stuff. We've finished that was kind of meh. I do just want to say, of course, that annoyed me. Triple H beating beating both men pretty much. He beat both men pretty much. It was a little bit annoying. But what is great is there's so many possibilities they can go here. Rollins, it seems, is going to be turning babyface. That should have happened months ago, and it seems like they're finally going to turn him babyface. That's a good thing. Owens is being positioned as the top heel. That's also a good thing. He is the best heel outside of Jericho. They should keep Jericho with him, by the way. There's so many possibilities they could go here. Owens against Rollins is an entertaining feud. Owens against Triple H. Not Owens against Triple H. Rollins against Triple H is a feud they've been building since last year's WrestleMania, so that can also be an entertaining feud. And obviously it'll be Owens and Balor come maybe the Rumble when Balor returns. It could even be Owens and Lesnar, which they've been teasing for a long time. It should be an awesome matchup if that ever happens. But yeah, Kevin Owens is the WWE Universal Champion. Awesome, awesome, awesome to know that Kevin Steen is the Universal Champion. So, thanks for watching, guys. It has been Raw Wrestler. Overall, I'd say Raw was a pretty good show. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. The Titus O'Neil, Darren Young stuff, oh my God, was horrendous. But there was a great main event. Some very good matches with Cesaro Sheamus and Neville Jericho. And Bayley was very, very over on this show, which definitely week 2, the Bayley experiment is paying off on the main roster. So, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more. This has been Raw Wrestler. Tell me your thoughts on Raw. What do you think to Kevin Owens being the Universal Champion? Well, how do you think Bayley's doing on the main roster? What do you think to this best of 7 series between Cesaro and Sheamus? And what do you think to Neville and the Jericho? Do you think that could be a feud? Do you think that maybe the Cruiserweight division could incorporate Neville? Or do you think Neville will stay out of that Cruiserweight division and go on his own? Thanks for watching. This has been Raw Wrestler. Like, comment and subscribe for more.